Oh, the things I have to do in order to make this work. Whoop, too far. See you later, Miss Muffin. Okay. I don't know how to get the camera to stay put. I realize there's a subtle wobble going on, and I don't really know how to fix that, so I apologize. Hello, Finicky Firetail. Nice to have you here. I'm currently trying to figure out how to keep my camera from like auto wobbling. There's this very gentle rounded wobble that's going on. And I promise I'm not touching my camera. I'm not touching the tub. I'm not touching anything. So there's just this very slight little wobble going on. Honestly, I'm not sure how to fix that. Maybe I'll figure it out one day, or perhaps somebody knows of a way to fix that. Maybe I have to go in my own phone settings or something. It's only just slight. I don't think that's going to be enough paint. I'll add a little bit more. So as I mentioned in both my Instagram and my YouTube post, we are going to be doing a swipe today. Last Monday was so much fun. We are going to do it again, but I haven't had too many interactions as far as comments go on what colors to use this time around. I guess people like it when I wing it, so that's what we're going to do today. And right now I am just preparing the floating paint. This is going to be the backgrounds that all of our colors are going to be, is what they're going to be sitting on. So this is just white crafting paint, Craft Smart Tempera paint. Hello Heat Productions, thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to be doing a 4-end swipe, and we're going to try and go for some nice bright colors today. And I also want to do an experiment. I found this at the dollar store. Can you guess what it is? There we go. I found this at the dollar store, and the clerk, he stopped me and he said, you know, the metal ones work better. He didn't know what I was getting this for, and it's Scoop. It just says Scoop. Not cat litter or not for food, but since this is plastic, I don't think I'd want to use it for food anyway. So instead, we're going to use it for art. And I've seen lots of people use different things like colanders, and they get this really, really neat starburst effect. And that's kind of what I want to try today. Welcome back, Gamer Chick Gonna Win. Glad you could make it. I was just telling everybody how we're going to use a litter scooper to try and create some really cool art. I mean, ideally it should work out the way that I think it will, but there's always a chance that it doesn't. Okay, perhaps that was a little too much water, but this is actually spreading really nice. If I can just reach the edges, come on, a little bit more. Thank you. And we've got cat fur already and ample coverage, so I'd say we're good. Now, I've met quite a few people over the years who claim, whoa, hey, wait, what's going on here? Focus, stay. Good, camera, stay put. Thank you. My phone almost has a mind of its own. Anyway, so I've met lots of people in the past who say their only artistic talent is drawing a stick figure. And I'll be honest, it never really makes me happy hearing that. Because to me, it just sounds more like they're happy with just, you know, little doodles and call it a day. So I want to show you what you can do on a dollar store budget. This is kid-friendly, family-friendly, and anybody can do it because they're all from the dollar store. Let me show you the supplies that I got. This is going to be the only paint that I did not pick up at the dollar store. And we just laid a layer of that down to act as our flow cushion, so that way the paint can swipe and we can hopefully get some interesting cells. Now, when you go to the dollar store, you might see some paints that look like these. And these are exactly what I'm going to be using today. Maybe not these colors exactly unless you guys want to see it. But this style of bottle, along with, let's see, do I have the other one? I don't think I have the other bottle. But there's basically two bottles of paint, two different styles of paint that you can find at the dollar store. So along with that, we have the plastic scooper we're going to use. And your dollar store might have some stretched canvas. My dollar store is no longer just a regular dollar store. It's more like a five and below. So the most expensive things being about $5, and what would normally be just $1 is now $1.25. But these little canvases are what I make the majority of my art on, and it's really, really, it's wallet friendly. Then we got craft sticks to do a little bit of stirring. And when we do our swipe, I picked up some painting palettes, even though these are for, you know, construction, house paint, what have you. It's a smooth plastic. It's not really a whole lot of give to them, so I'm going to have to be careful. But I'm hoping the paint will be able to peel right off. And if it doesn't, sponge, soapy water, it'll take care of you. The last thing I got at the dollar store, these squeeze bottles. These are condiment bottles, but they work just as great for paint. In fact, I've got a tube right here that I just filled up with a mixture of, what was it? Cobalt blue and white. All right, so let's get into it. We've got our pillow paint, flow paint, Muffins on her scratcher in the background, my cat. And let's get our colors. As I mentioned before, we are only going to be using colors that I picked up from the dollar store. So let's go in with this magenta. There we go. And we are going to do a little bit of a drizzle. I'm going to shake this up real quick. It might be from the dollar store, so no, it is from the dollar store. It might separate since it's been sitting on the shelves for a while, but never hurts to do a little bit of a come on. Oh, dear. No. What happened here? Did I get a bad bottle? Is that all paint skins? Oh, man. Well, let's take that off. I might have to run that one through a paint sock. For those of you who don't know what a paint sock is, it's a mesh material, kind of like tea bag, I guess tea bag or tool like material, and it's made to catch any paint skins, any little globs that want to hang around. So maybe not that one. Let's give this pink a try. To be on the safe side though, I am going to take a skewer and just kind of whip it up in the inside just in case. This looks more like Pepto-Bismol than just regular pink. Okay, this one looks like it's going to work out a little bit better than the magenta. Here we go. Do a little squirt off to the side. There we go. Gonna keep it nice and loose. And for the heck of it, let's go with deep yellow. And I have used this one before, so it shouldn't give us any problems. This will be interesting. Okay, and I want to add, let's see here, let's go with orange. Given the fact that I've used some of these bottles in my paint colors that I've mixed all by myself, I did not add any water into these, so I guess you can kind of see the timeline difference between batches, and maybe that's what we ran into with the magenta, but perhaps I'll go back in with the magenta and I will try to mix it up. There we go. And I see another cat here. Thank you, Miss Muffin. There we go. Okay, so all of that is dollar store paint. I did not see a dollar store white crafting paint. They've got all of the other colors. They even have black, but I did not see white. So for the sake of that, we're going to go back with the Tempera Craft Smart, and we are going to water it down just like we did with the pillow paint. Actually, let's do black. You know what? Yeah, okay, let's use the black dollar store paint. We'll water that down, and we'll do that for our swipe. Okay, that's how much I'm putting in there. We add our water. And I don't go by measurements, I just kind of go by feel. So whatever Whatever feels like it's the right consistency for me, for what I'm going for, that's what I'm gonna do. The dollar store is a magical place. You are right, sometimes, Finicky Firetail. Our local dollar store, some of the things it has are like exactly what I need and spot on. And then, unfortunately, the service, you know, they do their best. But a lot of the times it's just two people running the entire store. And I don't know if that's the same for every dollar store, but okay, let's see. Need to mix that in a little bit better. But yeah, I think if they could hire on some more help, that would be, I think everybody would enjoy that, but I know how tough times are right now. Okay, so that appeared to be too much water for the dollar store paint, so I'm going to add in some more, ooh, whoops, got some cross-contamination there. But I am going to add some more black dollar store paint. I'm going to add a good amount since this paint is so thin as it is. Okay, that's looking to be a lot better. Perhaps a fruit cup was not the best vessel to choose for mixing paint with all of those little ridges. But I do want this to be on the thinner side because the consistency is hopefully what's going to give us the cells that I'm after. Okay, given the size of this canvas, we will use the yellow, what did I call this? Yellow scraper. See what it's doing there? That's kind of what I'm hoping is going to happen with the paint, but if it doesn't want to stay on the plastic, that's going to give me a little bit of trouble. Might look really cool still. Okay, I've layered it on. It wants to recede, but let's do it. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Wipe off the excess. Perhaps we still need a little bit more of the dollar store paint. I like what we've got going on though, but perhaps more of the paint is sinking into the white. Gonna add just a little bit more black into our pour cup, no, our swiping cup, and see if we can't build up the consistency a little bit more. I don't want it to be too thick because then it'll be no different than when I was adding all of those little squiggles. But if all else fails, we can just use this cup and recycle the black paint for our next canvas. And maybe we'll get some more dynamic results. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Hopefully. Yeah, see, it doesn't really want to stay on the plastic. And maybe that's part of the problem. Okay, let's do a crossing swipe. Now I'm just letting it float. Ooh, there we go. That's better. Okay, gonna wipe it off. Looks cool. I like this. Now that was just letting me letting it float on top of the paint. Maybe that's what I need to do. And once again, this is just dollar store paint. Aside from the background being the Craft Smart Tempera paint. I'd really like to drag some more of those colors out. So let's do this. Go slow. Oh, that looks like a little flower. Let's see, can I transfer these over? Let's see what happens. Ooh, I can transfer. But will it give me the same results? Not really. Still though. I'm liking this a lot. With so much paint still on there, let's see if we can move it around a little. Oh wait, I actually want to keep those. Those look cool. Some of this paint looks like it wants to stick around better than the others. I'm not too jazzed about those trails that's leaving behind. Sorry, went out of focus again. It looks like it's working. Hello, Nikki M. So glad you could make it. We are experimenting today. This is with dollar store paint. All 100% dollar store paint, other than the background color there. Currently, I am trying to stretch everything out and just kind of get a more unified look. But I'm losing a lot of those cells as I stretch it. Some of the paint looks globby. Not too jazzed about that. I wonder if the paint, like right here and right here, I wonder if those started to dry while I was setting everything up. I wonder who always plays with the emojis with me. Like it always happens and it's hilarious. I don't know, but I'm glad you guys are having fun in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna leave that right there because if I move it around anymore, I'm gonna completely lose it. So let me set that aside to dry and then we'll get started on the second canvas. There we go. Let go. Oh goodness. Oh yeah, and I wanted to show you guys. This is what we did last Monday. Anybody remember this one? It's all completely dry now. And this was the one, whoops. There we go. Sorry, I lost you guys for a second. This was the one that we used the mica powders and the alcohol ink. So it definitely, you can't really see the little fingerlings that happened from it. Focus, please and thank you. There we go. But yeah, still turned out pretty cool. And here's the other one that we did. You can see them a little bit better on this one. There we go. Right here and right here. Bring you guys in close if my phone wants to focus. Thank you. Not bad, but definitely not as bright as it was when it was wet. So I'm going to have to look into getting some kind of clear coat, and maybe that will refresh everything and make it nice and bright. So I'm going to set this aside to dry. Take off the excess. Okay, on to our second canvas. And for this one, I want to try out the scooper. I want to see what kind of results we get with the scooper. So we've got that down. The scooper is just about as big as the canvas. So resting it right there looks like it's going to work nice. Or I can go here. What do you guys think? Number 1 or number 2? And for context, when I take the cup and I pour it out, this is going to be the surface that the paint is going to glide on. And this is where all of the colors are going to kind of pool up, stretch out, and then we're going to lift. We're going to get hopefully some star patterns. So number 1 or number 2? Finicky Firetail says number 1. Gamer Chick Gonna Win says number 1. Okay. Number 1 it is. So let's set that little cup aside. Stir this up a little bit. We've got a lot in here. I don't think we'll need that much with how fluid it is. And I don't necessarily want it to be too globby. I just need it to cover. And just one moment, please. I will be right back. There we go. Sorry, I am back. I just had to shut my door. Family returned home from going out and about. Dogs tend to get super excited. All that good stuff. Okay, and again, I don't want this to be too thick and gloppy, so I am going to pour most of it off. I apologize if I go off camera with this. I don't really want my face to be on camera due to paint reflecting, so bear with me. And even though I did say this is kid-friendly, you can choose to wear gloves if you want. I don't. It's just more fun for me that way. But I'm just coating the edges to make sure the paint actually reaches the edges. Take out little bubbles. And come on, just pour off a little bit more. Okay. Awesome. Clean off my hands real quick. My apron has been getting progressively more messy the more live streams that I do. Perhaps I'll post a picture of it on Instagram just for the fun of it. Okay, so we got those. Let's choose our colors. And for the fact that I have not, this one will not be 100% dollar store paint, just because I don't really want to add water to a whole bunch of my tubes of paint, because that would just take a long time and I don't think you guys would want to watch all of that. So I'm going to be grabbing the homemade home mixed colors that I have ready, and we're just going to go with those. These paints are made with a combination of regular crafting paints that you would find at Michael's or Walmart for anywhere from like $3 a bottle to maybe $7 or $10 a bottle. Paint is not cheap anymore. Okay, and then, woo, we are going in with a teal blue. We've got homemade spring green, teal blue. Let's mix in, let's see, not yellow. If we go with orange, that's going to give us brown. Let's go with purple. I haven't done anything with purple in a while. This is blue-based purple, meaning it's got more blue than red in it. But I don't want to use too much since we already have a black, and that color is going to be pretty dark. So next, let's go with, let's see if I can add some whites. I've had this one upside down for a little bit, just to try and get the paint to flow. I haven't used this one in a while. Hopefully it's not full of paint skins, but we'll see. This is just regular white paint and water. Oh, this is exactly what I want to avoid. Yeah, all of that right there. It's exactly what I want to avoid. And you know what? Let's go for a bright, you know, let's go for a red. Be spontaneous. Do I have any yellow? I do. I just want to kind of stay away from making too much green, because I already have a green in there, and I don't have too much white. But perhaps now I'll add a little bit of yellow. Now that we've got that red in there, it'll kind of maybe mix to be like an orange. Okay, here's the yellow. This yellow is a little bit on the thicker side. And for the heck of it, I bet you thought I was going to say gold, huh? Let's go in with this one. It color shifts from a teal to a blue to a green. Okay, here's our cup. A little bit of our color shifting in there. Yeah, see, already we're getting some green. Oh, it kind of looks like a little froggy. Okay. One more color. Let's add our special blue toned white. This is white paint that I added blue mica powder into, thinking I would get a blue shimmer, but instead it completely tinted the entire paint. And with it, it has always given me stellar results. So we're just gonna sprinkle that all around here and there. Not too much. Okay, I think that is decent enough. We are going to drizzle a little bit of our paint on here. Perhaps that's not the best method. Oh, and look at that. The paint's receding off the plastic too. Maybe I gotta take like a, maybe I gotta like roughen this plastic up a little bit or let paint dry on it in order to not have that happen. Because I kind of want paint to stay on there. All right, so we've got black paint on there. We're gonna set this carefully. You ready? Here we go. The idea is that the paints that I am pouring onto it is gonna push through all of the little holes. Ooh. We got some pretty ribbons going on. Okay, take that aside, let it drip dry. I like it. Okay, here we go. We're gonna slowly pull up. Hey, look at that. We actually got a couple starbursts. That looks so cool. We got some cells happening already. I like that. This appeases you. Good, I'm glad, Finicky Firetail. Ooh, the colors are really showing up. Let's just be nice and gentle. I'm not too jazzed how we've got a whole lot of mud here, but I really like this. It's unlike anything I've made yet. Now, I don't know if we can stretch that bottom out. If this doesn't cover the edges, I'm not too worried. It already looks so cool. But some things I really want to keep. This makes me think of like tie-dye. Okay, let's get that to the edges. Okay. I like this a lot. And I really hope the starbursts stay there. That looks cool. Right on. And here's the underside of that. And now the paint stays there. Okay, well, a very successful, what do I call it? Very successful experimentation. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm glad I got to share this with you. I have so much fun doing these live streams. I'm definitely going to be doing more of this. I think the game just changed. By the way, for any of you who know what I'm talking about, you just lost the game. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, I will see you guys next Monday, 2 o'clock. Remember, I go live here on YouTube every Monday, 2 o'clock. Subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, so that way you can keep up with me when I do more live streams, and to make sure you don't miss another pouring live stream. Again, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you guys next Monday. Bye for now.